delicious brisket ever.
Practice that.
All right. Hello there, Swaggyville. Guys, welcome to the big Brisket Cook. A couple nights ago, took all night long, and we're trying out some new concepts here. We've got the new stand for the lapel mic. I didn't want to be hooked up to the lapel mic, so I could just set this thing down. This is pretty handy. I can walk away, I can do stuff. It's not all tied up to me. It's the old Viking spatula. Go Vikes! Hey, 54 years old. Be really kick-ass to see a championship game sometime, if you know what I mean. If we could conjure that up. Anyways, as you can see, we're doing some trimming of the brisket here in this video. Never cut towards yourself. That's what I was trying to display there. Being very careful not to cut a digit off and show the camera angle and all kinds of stuff all at the same time. Get the big chunks of fat off. You don't need that. It won't render down. But just whittle away, being careful not to, stab yourself in the gut up there. Got the meat sliding around on the board. Sharp knife would be nice as well, but we don't seem to have that here in the household. But keep your, get enough room there. And just keep whittling away. I'm going to see if I can fast forward through this. I think the only best way to do that, bear with me, is just pause this video here. Hang on. We are back in action. We have flipped the brisket over, and we are on the fat cap side. Getting a little bit too deep there, as you can see. You want to leave about a ½ inch or something. You got to have something render down. Keep adding juices, and everybody's got their own thing. Some guys really trim her down. I mean, I bought a 15-pound brisket. There's no sense, using all the weight that you paid for. Get that thing down to about 12 or 13 pounds. Throw some shit away. I actually ended up saving some of this fat, put it in a tin foil cooker, and put it below this. Now we'll be using the Pit Boss. It's an old Pit Boss I picked up at a big box store, and you've seen it in other videos. It's kind of a portable size, so she's not the biggest one. And then you got that direct flame off to the left side. So I wanted to get that elevated inside the pit. You'll see that on some of the other shots here later on. But anyhow, I was able to raise it about 2 inches with some accessories that I had, and then I put a wire rack on top of those, and then the brisket on top of that. Anyhow, we've got the fat rendered down a little bit. I wanted to throw some of that on top while I was doing the brisket cook, and it seemed to turn out all right. But anyways, back to the trimming of the brisket. Swaggy's way, so I'm going to do it my way. There's no right, wrong answer. You're going to get various opinions on how to do this. I'm obviously hacking the shit out of this thing. Just go with it. You just can't have 3-inch chunk of fat. It's not gonna do anything for you. So sharp knives, get a sharp knife. Some guys like to round that off. I'm kind of cheap. If I'm spending money on a 15-pound brisket, I don't want half of it to go in the garbage. You know what I mean? So just make it look a little prettier. How this side looks kind of nice and smooth. This side is looking a little not as pleasant. So just play with that a little bit. You got to worry about the ends, the flat down here getting a little bit too thin. I noticed of the batch that I had to choose from at the local, I believe, Sam's Club. I don't know what's going on with Costco. I couldn't find any primes the last couple times I checked. So, anywho, this end, they were a little thin, and then you gotta cut them back, and again, throw away too much, and I'm too cheap for that. So. All right, well, we're going to continue to whittle away at this thing a little bit, clean it up a little bit, and then throw some of these seasonings on. We'll be back in a second. All right, clip 2, here we are. And by the way, while you're watching me put some kosher salt here on the brisket, I want to thank Apple for not putting a pause button on this thing. That's awesome. We just keep going to different clips, so appreciate that. I usually don't use salt when I'm using the Lawry's, but I figured the thing was so big, and we're gonna wrap this thing up, try to dry it out a little bit, and truth be told, I kind of forgot the binder. So I wanted it to sweat a little bit. I wrapped it up in some cellophane, threw it in the refrigerator, and it seemed to work out pretty good. But typically I would use the proverbial, mustard or mayo or, some sort of binder, just cause, I guess. I don't know. They really don't add a shit ton of flavor, but here we are. We're back to the seasoning of the brisket. This is some thicker, bigger grain pepper we're putting on right now. I did notice, typically when you're barbecuing something for that long, I think this one ended up being, I think I put it on at 11:30, and it was on the smoker and into the oven till 9-10 o'clock. So got a good 9 hours on it. And there was some pepper flavor, and I wouldn't want to gone any thicker on the pepper, but dump that on as you will. So basically, my go-tos, this one I kept pretty simple. A couple of my other videos, go back and check those. I really doll them up with all kinds of different seasonings and binders and whatnot. We just went with the pepper, the Lawry seasoning salt, and some garlic powder. And again, like I said, this time I used a little bit of regular salt, and turns out okay at the end, I guess. We flip it over, get a little bit. I'm trying to get some on the old sides there. I know that's boy, if you don't do that, you'll get chastised in the old community. So a little bit more salt, repeat. Did a fairly good job, I think, of getting that silver skin off. There's a little chunks here and there, but that's a good chunk of brisket right there. All right, well, we're going to continue to season that bad boy up, and see you in a moment. Pat that down. No need to rub it. Just pat it. Get it all nice and stuck on there, especially if you forget the binder. Check it out. Oh, get a little bit extra on the sides. Really getting into patting that down. That might be a little aggressive, but back to the cap side, as you can see. All right, Swaggy, that looks like a good enough pat job. Oh, we think we need a little bit more pepper here. I think a little bit too much white showing over here. You know what I mean? All right. Well, I think that ends up being about it. This is what we got for the setup. We're already into our cook, as you can see, because I could not get the last video clip to play. Not quite sure why, GoPro, but that's just the way it is. So, I found some accessories to raise up this brisket. Here's the burn pot right there. And I got the point here, the flat there, and I just wanted a way to raise that up, get a pan underneath it so I could put some apple juice. At first I had some of that fat cooking away in there. This was after an all-night cook. Truth be told, I was partaking in some SWAGGY'S sauce the night before, and I put this thing on at 11:30, and by 12 o'clock I was sleeping on the couch watching YouTube videos and woke up at 4. So I tend to like to check it a little bit sooner than that, but it is what it is. And we started out at 200 degrees, so the first 4 hours it had smoke on it. And then when I got up at 4, we cranked it up to 250. My particular pellet grill tends to run a little cool, and it's got some pretty big swings. I've tried dialing in the P setting and all that good stuff, but that's just the way it is. It's a good grill. It does what it's supposed to do. It's a cheaper version, so you just deal with what you got, right? And then I think I cooked it for about an hour or two on the 250. Then I went to 3, and I was really having a hard time, believe it or not, getting the flat to come up to temperature. I don't know what was going on, so I ended up spinning it in the grill, putting the flat towards the hot part of the grill, which is where the firebox is, and was still having a hard time. And quite frankly, I was getting tired just sitting outside watching this thing. So I brought it in, got 192 here. I brought it in around 165 and stuck it in the oven and put the oven on 400 and let her buck until we get to this point. And I pulled it out, and you saw me doing some basting with some of the juices down inside there. But all in all, she was delicious. So anyhow, while I'm here and got this picture up, it looks good. The point got a little bit crispy. Not too bad though. People loved it at the end. You'll see here. I'll see what I can do in editing to get that in there. But all in all, it was good to go. So don't know that I'm going to do the boat method again. I kind of like the getting it out of the stall zone about 165, 170, wrapping it in some butcher paper and letting her buck. So I think that's what we'll do next time. All right, Swaggyville. That concludes, or coming close to concluding, another episode on Swaggy's Way. I think I'm going to like this format. Shooting some content, putting it up on the big screen, popping in, narrating what's happening on the big screen to you folks, and kind of rolling with that type of approach. I think I'm going to like it. I've got some equipment issues to work through, perhaps add some more additions. Not quite sure how the old GoPro 7 is going to work out. I need to be able to turn it on and turn it off. Maybe there's a remote control out there. Maybe you can throw a suggestion in the comment. The on-screen thing seemed to be an issue. The battery life seems to be an issue. I got to check out to see if I can plug that thing in and operate it while it's plugged into an outlet. I think that will help. So navigating through that, hooking it up to the big screen TV without hooking up or unhooking all my other devices. So there's some things to work out. I think it's on the right track. I think I'm going to like it. Hopefully you will like it. Hopefully we can go from the 65 subscribers that I currently have to maybe some more. And you definitely, here's a shout out. Here's me asking you for help. Feel free to like, subscribe, and share this video. Let's grow the channel. Let's have some fun, and you'll do your part in helping old guy out. It is appreciated. That's the conclusion. I'm going to go probably do some more YouTube University here to see if I can hone this stuff in and get a little better content out there for you. And we'll see how it goes. But I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun. For now, hey, as always, life is full of decisions. You might as well make good ones. And this is Swaggy signing out for now. Catch you next time.
So it's time to eat? Just
Sure.
going without us? He had to make his plate so he could finish his video.